I'm just telling everyone to make sure to log into emails. Yeah.
Reload. No videos. No, that's not this one. It's the main channel. Okay. Hey guys. Sorry, okay, I see we got some viewers on here. Sorry, having some technical difficulties. So it seems that the album actually can't be streamed through this console while I am broadcasting, unfortunately. So we're trying to just smooth it out. But I will just play it in the background as best I can. So we're here for a live stream of Resident Evil 3 speedrun, plus the album stream of our new album, Premonitions, released by Napalm Records today. And yeah, here for a good time. So crack your beers and let's have a good one. Now, if you can hear the music properly, do let me know and comment. I will be skipping cutscenes, of course, because it's a speedrun, so I'll just breeze past this. The cool thing about Resident Evil games is that while it's a horror game and all that, it has this speedrun and like replayability that you can just go over and over and over. And I think that really adds to the whole aspect as well, because you don't want to just beat a game once and then, you know, never touch it again. So I think for Resident Evil 3, I'm actually already on like, I don't know, run number 8 or 9. I'm going to try to inform you guys of everything as much as I can, so excuse the going silent sometimes. So sorry about the little technical difficulty with the streaming of the album. I really thought that was going to work, but it appears not. The moment I was going to go live, they gave me the prompt that no. So that's a shame. So in this version, they really introduced Nemesis quite quickly, straight from the beginning, and the original was not this way. And I think personally that's a nice touch, kind of build up that atmosphere and just overall sense of fear really quickly. So a lot of you have you heard the album already? What did you think? We got some of the Sojourner members in the chat right now, so they'll also be answering questions and such. But I'm also on here in case you need to ask anything. So on this part the other day, I was actually playing it through with Mike, and I actually died with this zombie there, which was definitely not something I wanted to happen now. Now you'll see on a lot of PC speedruns that a lot of things are about like being super like frame perfect and everything. Now I'm playing on a PS4, so sometimes it's not really possible or anything like that. But this is just about, you know, as fast as you can, no matter what console or rig you might have. And enjoying most of all. Really glad they included this guy from the original. Unfortunately, they didn't give him much airtime, so to speak. Because in the original, you actually see him like dead, and in this one, they kind of just skip past that. Go. Really would not have been good if I got bit there. So sometimes to buy time, you can use the dodge mechanic to just kind of sprint faster and everything, and just get to your objective quicker. And that helps you save time, of course.
It's my turn, bitch.
Now there are many games that like doing a speedrun requires a lot of like, you know, technical capabilities or whatever, or like, you know, just really memorizing the game. But with especially Resident Evil 2 Remake and 3, you can really just have a good time and learn it quite quickly. It doesn't require being the best gamer in the world, which actually makes me sound bad, but so hopefully the music can still be heard very well. A lot of work went into this album, guys, and like we're super happy to finally have it out.
Sorry, we're gonna have to go around.
I know it's super cliche and cheesy to say, but it's definitely like
Nothing.
our best album to date.
But it's no zombie. It knows what it wants and won't stop till it gets it.
And then here I can do a quick dodge and bypass him, because otherwise with Carlos, you're just like staying behind him the whole time.
Promise you. With the umbrella biohazard countermeasures.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are the ones who caused all of this.
You notice as well sometimes when I'm going down the stairs, I'll be like aiming super fast, and that's basically because when you're just regular running down the stairs, it's a bit slower, as you can see there. But when you aim, it kind of does like this quick sprint, so you get up and down stairs really fast, and that helps save a lot of minutes actually. Okay, so as I said, this is a speed run, so it's definitely about just being quick. It's not about difficulty and all that. So I will be using an infinite rocket launcher to just take out everything and anyone in my path, and then just complete the game as fast as I can. I know that's not very popular sometimes amongst speedrunners, but with me, you won't be seeing a knife-only run. So in your first playthrough, you'll definitely be doing a lot of backtracking here. But once, of course, you unlock all the things you need and everything like that, everything pretty much reveals itself to you to just go from point to point and be like really quick. Learning where the enemies are and just doing what you need to do, rather than just messing around in every corner of the place. This prompt never shows up the first time, and it suddenly does. Is there anyone in the chat that's been able to speedrun, and like, what's your record? And of course, any questions you might have about the album itself. And he disappears like that. Part is definitely one of my least favorite of the game. You got these creatures that were actually much larger in the original, but in this one they downsized them, but they kind of like poison you with this weird kind of parasite that just doesn't allow you to move too fast, and you need to recover with an herb quickly. So I don't actually need these, but gotta pick them up because of the poison. A little bit of a mess up there. After me. I have to eliminate him. Alright, well, he got me. That wasn't supposed to happen. So this part, the first time I remember, it really terrorized me, especially with them chasing after you like that. And they actually are very easy to kill, but once they grab a hold of you, it's done. There's not really much you can do. And normally I don't allow the flinching to happen too much when I shoot the rocket, but sometimes they're just up in your face, so you don't really have the chance to be all smooth about it. And there's a hit. Possibly could have turned this into a no damage run, but Doesn't seem like it's gonna happen now. So, just take him down, give me time to breathe, to run away. Now, this one is good to take, just because you don't really use healing items too often, but if you do, this one's good to have. Won't be picking up too many of them. Just take the ones that you can get that are right in front of you. So I'm sure he's gonna drop soon. Nemesis usually stays down for, I believe, 20 to 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So that means he's definitely going to drop when I come back out here. Yep, there he is. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
Someone else does the same thing. You ever get into stream on his channel?
Yeah, I do. I mean, back then I used to do a lot more. Nowadays, not so much. But I do want to pick it back up. This is actually kind of like a way to get back into it as well. On my channel, which is Emilio of Gaming, I have like Until Dawn, Resident Evil 4, a lot of Resident Evils, some Final Fantasy. I try to make a series of pretty much everything I play, but sometimes, yeah. Now, obviously, with the rocket launcher, you could be a bit more like calm when he comes around, but when you're doing your first playthrough, the guy is just terrifying. It really is. So drop all these guys. This guy here, you don't really need to, because as soon as you touch the shelter door, cutscene triggers. So you don't ever need to be worried about him. Done with him. This next part is probably one of my favorites off the album. The song playing now is Apocalyptic Theater, and has this really cool mid part by Chloe, then coming into like the climax of the end. This was actually also, the part after this was the first snippet we ever shared of the album, about a year ago, in its demo form, of course. Always really loved this part. I'm not sure how I am on schedule, so I'm going to check. 15 minutes and 54, not bad. So this sewer part actually brought in the original hunters from the third game, the kind of like aquatic ones that look like these frogs or something like that just swallow you one hit. And in this game as well, they maintain the one hit kill factor, which is extremely frustrating because they swallow so many bullets. Resident Evil games have always been, of course, quite linear, so they're super easy to remember, the paths and all that. This game took about maybe 3 runs for me to completely memorize everything. My first one was on standard, then I did like assisted just to really get a grasp of the whole layout of the entire game. Well, see, I shouldn't have gone back right there, so that probably cost me a couple seconds. But as far as I can tell we're doing still pretty good. Although I will say one of the disappointments of this game is that Nemesis is pretty much scripted the entire way through. He doesn't have the random appearances like he does in the original, which is something that got a lot of flack from fans and critics alike. But still, this game is fantastic. And I definitely recommend it to anybody. I'm unfortunately staring at the screen, so I don't see what's going on in the chat, but I do have my co-member and guitarist Mike Lamb here to take care of all that and tell me if anybody needs anything.
What have bands have you listened to most lately?
Bands I've been listening to most. Catatonia. Some Draconian. I've been revisiting a little bit of new metal from like back in, you know, my old school days. Sometimes the nostalgia factor hits you. Let's see what else. It's kind of hard to say because you're listening to a lot of music on shuffle all the time. And oh, Sleep Token for sure. There's this cool band, Ice Nine Kills. It's pretty sweet. A while back I did have the new As I Lay Dying record, quite spinning a lot. Just a little bit of everything. I'm definitely quite open when it comes to all genres of metal, pretty much. Some I like more, some I like less, but yeah. But the truth is as well, when you're a musician and you're working on music, it sometimes doesn't leave you too much time to listen to other stuff or to, like, you know, keep in touch with everything that's coming out. But so far of 2020, if I had to say, I think Catatonia is one of my contenders for sure. Now this next fight here can get a bit tricky sometimes because he can actually dodge.
Still kicking?
There goes, he's done. Let me get this before I... Perfect. So he's definitely not done yet. He will be coming back. Whoop. this song playing now, Talus, is definitely one of my favorites off the record. Just has this really nice mellow vibe, very calm one, kind of like, I wouldn't say a part two because it has nothing to do with the Pale Host, but kind of like bringing back that like mid-album chill track. But we opted to go a bit more epic towards the end with the inclusion of guitars and all that. Now, I'm not going to put myself under too much pressure, but in theory, by the time the album's done, I should be done with the game. But, I don't know. I'm still kind of not near the beginning or anything like that, but I don't think I've passed the midpoint. We're already halfway through the album. Alright, so here he appears again. Which, of course, to buy myself some time, I'll do a quick turnaround. Oh, shit. Oh! Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to happen either. Messed that one up a little bit. That's okay. Live, these things happen. Oh. Oh, crap. Oof. Totally botched that. Really botched it. It's okay, we keep on keeping on.
What do you say your favorite ambient or soundtrack albums?
Ambient or soundtrack albums? I don't really listen to a lot of ambient, actually. Soundtrack, for example, I would say, I mean, of course, who can not, you know, say Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, and Gladiator. Yeah, I'd say, you know, people like Hans Zimmer and stuff, they really add a lot of depth to movies and such. And ambient music, oh. I mean, of course I have listened to Dungeon Synth and all that kind of stuff, but I can't actually name somebody off the top of my head at the moment, unfortunately. Now, the song playing now, Fatal Frame, oof. I wish I could have live streamed Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, but unfortunately I don't have the gear for that. But yeah, it is something I would have definitely liked to do. I can never bypass him on this part. Definitely appreciate anybody who's in the chat right now and who's watching. Definitely kind of a unorthodox thing to do for an album release, but really, really fun and super cool. I'm actually hoping to see more bands. I have seen actually some bands that have been doing like gameplays and such, Call of Duty and other stuff like that. It'd be cool to see a lot more of it. Now we're going on to Carlos's part. We're going to the RPD now, which in the original he did not get to do. This part actually went to Jill instead.
Looks like
say he's dead. Same deal with Carlos. Get these hit pouches. You can unlock these after completing the game. Now we just need to wait here. This is probably the only cutscene or whatever you want to call it that you can't skip in the game.
I'll open the shutter so you can get through. You stay here and find out what's going on here at the station. I'll call you if I find anything. Hey! Be careful. Yeah. You too, man. What the hell was that thing?
So that was a very cool inclusion to have Carlos do this part instead of Jill. Now, of course, some parts of the game have been, let's say, eliminated that were in the original, like the clock tower, for example, but I still think in its own right, this game did really well. Right, perfect. So in theory, you should shoot there and then get in before the door closes, just to save yourself a couple seconds.
Right. Big, warm RPD welcome.
You should be dead. Yep. Definitely, again, if there's any kind of question you might have about the album, no matter what kind of question it might be, let it shoot and we'll get to answering them. Not sure if I killed him. Hopefully. Otherwise, he's definitely dead now. Yeah, that one doesn't really matter. I usually kill him for fun, but just try to shave off a couple seconds.
This'll take some time. Look around, see if you can find anything useful.
Yeah, apologies if I fall silent sometimes. Sometimes I get so absorbed into the game that I forget that I'm actually live. There's not much concentration involved really with this game. It's just kind of, it kind of becomes like muscle memory even. Sometimes like what buttons you gotta press and all that, and at what point to move and all these kinds of things, but
Am I the only one who made it?
it's mainly all just about fun. I don't like to get too technical either. That's why I don't really speedrun games. Just like Resident Evil games. Because I don't really like the whole technical aspect of frame perfect for this one and yada yada yada.
You make a good time then.
Yeah?
I think you make pretty good.
So with a shot there in the middle, you kill all the ones there. dodge mechanic is really good in this game to just kind of bypass some of these areas and get to a ladder faster and all this kind of stuff. It just shaves off seconds, and once it starts accumulating and everything, you can actually shave off plenty of minutes. My first speed run, I think I was at like an hour and 30 almost, I think. And then I've shaved it really like a lot down to, I think I'm at 59 right now at this moment. I'm not too sure. Definitely want to take some time to say thank you to everybody who's like supported Sojourner so far, who's bought the album, or whether it's digital, physical, a t-shirt, whatever, anything at all, even if it's just a stream. Any and all support is extremely appreciated. We just started like this small studio band not long ago, and now it's like grown into something really, really cool. And of course we put in the work and everything, but it's also because of you guys and the support that you've given us, and that means a lot. Cool, nailed that one. I actually don't usually make that one. On one of my speedruns, I forgot the tape recorder there once, and that added like an extra 5 minutes to my playthrough, which royally screwed me. Oh. Okay, you're good. And there I messed up as well. So the deluge playing now, that was a really cool experience with the whole video. I think for most of us, except Ricardo, it was our first like real music video that we were shooting. And it was a really cool experience. Our director Oliver and his girlfriend were down, and we all just had a really great time. There was a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, and getting like really tired and stuff, but it was all worth it in the end because we're truly proud of the end result. And to be honest, like I still watch it sometimes nowadays and be like, holy shit, really? That's cool. And it was a beautiful area that we shot in as well. The Scottish Highlands, if anybody hasn't been, it's just something that you have to like live at least once. I feel lucky that I got to see it several times, but definitely something you shouldn't fall asleep on. Pick that up. If you open that locker next to it, a zombie falls out, and that adds a few seconds onto your time, which you could try to avoid. So I'm losing seconds in some places, gaining in others. Now these guys are terrifying in this game, absolutely terrifying. It's like there's no chill with these big dudes. And they will ruin you. Also doesn't help that they're bullet sponges. Doors open behind me, a bunch of zombies came out, but I'll never see them again, so it doesn't really matter with these guys. This hall, the first time I played the game, I was standing in place like 10 minutes before I had the balls to go in. She dead? Yep. Go. So I hesitated a bit too much there, but it's fine. obviously, because I'm equipped with a rocket launcher and I'm, you know, talking a lot of stuff, and I know kind of like everything that's going to happen, so there's no real suspense or anything. But the first time you play this game, if you haven't yet, especially this hospital part, is quite terrifying. Not sure when you want to move, when to move, all this kind of stuff, and it just really adds to the suspense. So do keep in mind that tomorrow we're taking over the Napalm Instagram. So we're going to be sharing some throwback stuff, some current stuff as well, like just, you know, in the comfort of our homes. A little bit of quarantine style stuff. And then just, yeah, just stop by, check out the posts. We love interacting with everybody and just, you know, hearing what you got to say and feedback on anything you might want to give us feedback on. And just enjoy a good time. That's pretty much what we're all about. Am I making good time? Yeah.
You're gonna be okay, Joe.
Now the cool thing about this game is that the cutscenes actually don't add time at all. So you can actually watch them during the speedrun if you want to, and it doesn't add to your time, so that's totally cool. This is the most time-consuming part just because you can't do anything. You just have to keep defending yourself against the waves of zombies until the next like cutscene or part triggers. That's pretty much all you can do here. There's not much else. Now again, if anybody's wondering why I have a rocket launcher for a speed run, seems like cheating or whatever. Again, for me it's all about just speed, not difficulty, nothing like that. I don't really care too much for, I've always been a guy who just wants to enjoy a game, or in the event of a speed run, just do it quickly. Difficulty to me is not really, yeah, doesn't really mean much. I can get the aspect that it feels rewarding and everything, but yeah, it's not something I've ever really worried about. So this part just kind of drags on like this for a while until the lights will go off in a second, and then I gotta trigger a breaker, and we'll lead to the next part. Touring in the States. I would actually love to tour in the States. I actually grew up in the States. I'm from Florida, so, but I haven't been there in like 15 years because I moved to Europe and haven't been back since, unfortunately. But for me, it would actually be a dream come true to tour the States. Kind of like a homecoming kind of thing. Now I have had the chance, of course, to go back to the States recently, but I've opted to go to Japan, which is like my dream place. So, but I do hope to at some point tour the States with Sojourner and just really enjoy. I'm from Central Florida, like a little bit west of Orlando, Polk County it's called. So I live sometime in a place called Dundee, and sometime in a place called Point Siena. And then after that, with my family, we moved back to Spain. I was around 15 or so. And it's like I was a teenager when I left, so nowadays it almost feels like a distant memory having grown up in the States. So it's definitely on my wish list to head back, whether it's with the band or just for pleasure, like on my own, just vacation. The wave of zombies is pretty much over almost. Soon a hunter will come through the window. Should be now. Just wait for him a bit. Now. There he goes. Now just go ahead and take this. Making really good time. Now, there's actually points you can get when you like collect trophies for, like, you know, setting certain records, like to beat 400 enemies and all this stuff. This is a good farming spot for that, actually. If you want to collect points to unlock all the unlimited weapons and outfits and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we're good there. How many of you have received your physical copies of the album, whether it's on CD or vinyl? Alright, now we're going to start with Jill. Now I think we're pretty much good with her. Now with Jill in this part, of course, you can backtrack and go get a bunch of items and stuff like that, but obviously not really something we need too much. So we're actually nearing the end of the game soon. The final part will be the lab and stuff. The intro and outro to this song is super cool because it's kind of like a nod to Empires of Ash, like full on. Has that vibe of like first album when we started out. This little dude up here, you definitely want to kill him because these are, I think they're called regenerators. And the first time I played, I was just like pounding him with bullets and he just would not die. That's because after every shot, he starts to regenerate health and quite quickly. And I didn't quite get that, so it took me forever to kill him. But then after a while, once you know that you just gotta like really do it fast, about maybe 4 or 5 shotgun shells, 1 magnum to the head. And then for handgun, it's maybe like 15 to 20, so definitely handgun is not useful against these guys. And then kill these guys. And then kill this one. Now, the recoil on this I can't really, or the flinching, I can't really avoid that, just because they're so close to me. This guy, shoot him proper, and he's done. So this is the part right before the lab, end of the game almost. But that's what I mean with replayability and everything. While the game might be short, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It just allows you to keep playing it over and over to like kind of like be in competition with yourself. And I think your first playthrough, you'll definitely maybe clear it in 4 or 5 hours, depending on how much of your time that you take. But I still think it's an amazing game, and that there's nothing wrong with it. But if I had to choose between Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake, oof, I think in the end I'm going to go with 2. Just because maybe it did have a bit more of that creepy factor. And even in the, like in the case of the originals, Resident Evil 3 was already, of course, a bit more action-based. So yeah, I think I'd have to go Resident Evil 2 just because of that. Because I definitely am a huge fan of survival horror. Fatal Frame, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Forbidden Siren. Right now we were actually playing earlier Visage, which is incredibly insane. It keeps you on your toes and will scare the living shit out of you for sure.
Some of your favorite Napalm releases and bands? Favorite
Napalm releases and bands? I'm gonna go for, of course, Draconian. All albums from Where Lovers Mourn to Sovereign, everything. Let's see what else. I have pretty much all Exandria releases as well. Let's see what else. Unleash the Archers. Love me some Unleash the Archers. Ginger. I've really gotten into them heavily lately. Some Unleashed. Some Hailstorm. Mortimia released one album long ago. Hoping for a new one someday, but we'll see. Satyricon, of course. There's so many bands. Kind of hard to choose. But yeah, those will be some of them. Aether Realm, they recently released their Napalm debut as well. Definitely check out Redneck Vikings from Hell, or to Hell.
Sure you don't need to stop?
Yeah, there's a lot. That's what's cool about Napalm. There's so much to choose from so many different genres. It's really, we really feel like happy to be on the roster and get to share it with some amazing bands. Today we just released the visualizer for the Event Horizon as well. Definitely check that out on the Napalm Records YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Some really cool scenery and beautiful images in there. Now this song could definitely be considered a bit of a departure for us, since there's no tin whistle or anything like that, but we always try to go for just like what the song asked for, and this song just kind of took that path of, you know, of taking its own path, if that makes sense. But it's still very much Sojourner. I think the more bands evolve but maintain their identity, that right there is still, in and of itself, the identity of a band.
Say the bad name.
Eh?
Say the bad name.
Hours.
Pronunciation.
Okay, so I say Sojourner, and we got of course Kiwis and a British person and a Scottish person. Then there's like Sojourner and Sojourner. I don't know. It's like everybody has their own way of pronouncing it, and of course Ricardo being Italian, Sojourner. So.
Everybody says Sojourner.
What?
Everybody says Sojourner.
What?
You're against the pronunciation.
I can't help that I'm a Yank. But we actually get asked that a lot about the name, like how it came to be. And it just popped into my head one day because of course we're a band that definitely has a lot of lyrics about nature and fantasy and like storytelling type stuff, like movies or just anything like that. And the word sojourner, of course, is just the person who doesn't really stay in one place for too long, kind of like an adventurer, nomad, what have you. And obviously with the lyrical themes and everything like that and the feels of the music and all that, it just fit really, really well. And I think naming a band is one of the hardest things to do. Like really. Way harder than writing a song. Oop, messed that one up. Harder than writing a song or anything like that. Not to mention nowadays, with the amount of bands that there are, you gotta make sure that 55,000 other bands aren't named the same. Which is why Sojourner was good. So we call dibs. Alright, these hunters here, they can sometimes give me a surprise. Right there, he's gonna bother me. Oof, got him. Alright, green light. Yep. And let's go. So, the album has now finished, and I'm still not done. Although I'd like to say in my defense, it's maybe because I started playing the album before I started playing. But yeah, how many of you have already heard the album? I'll ask again in case somebody joins afterwards. Oh. Now this one here is mid, high, low.
Say hello to Brazil.
Hello, Brazil. We hope to come someday. I think Indonesia comes first, though. Nope. I messed up there. Well, that shaved me a couple seconds. Or it did not shave me a couple seconds. Don't know why I did that. So we're definitely now nearing the final part of the game. And I'm thinking a save will be appropriate soon. Which is now. To get an S rating, just save as few times as possible and beat the game as fast as possible. I think it's under 2 hours, or even 1:30 depending on the difficulty. But you know what? An easy way to do it, play on assisted a whole bunch, memorize the game, and then just go from there. And then just up the difficulty. Of course, you know, use regular weapons if you want. Be like one of these OP speedrunners with just a knife and stuff. That works too. Alright, we're gonna check our health here. Well, that fucking sucked. on time. Oof. I think I lost some serious time. Go. Basically bring them down. There's 3 like canisters or whatever you call these, fuses maybe, that you have to get in. Go. Now on hardcore, of course, he gets up way faster than on assisted or standard. So you don't have too much time. Why did I do that? Okay, I'm at full health. So that's my mistake. I do. Oh! Alright, this should be over. He's gonna get up now, so I gotta quickly get back to the start. Alright, that would be that. I've actually attempted the Nightmare difficulty, and I got to this part, but on Nightmare, his hits are one after the other, and I'm not that good at dodging, I'll be honest, and it's really hard.
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
Sweet line. We're gonna move it along, though. I'm not sure what I'm going to end at, but hopefully I beat my record, and I'll just show you guys actually real quick. So far on hardcore, I'm at 58.55, and right now 56.37, so I'm not sure I'll actually be able to beat it, which would be very disappointing if I couldn't. So hopefully... Oh yeah, Nemesis really fucked me up there earlier. Showed my noobness right there. 57.05. I might be able to beat it actually. What was the record again? Results 58.55.
Hey, your playtime's not too bad.
Ah, 58.55. I might. Let's see here. Come on, get it. Come on. Good. Done.
Napalm says they believe in you.
Thanks, guys. And beat it by 1 minute and 30 seconds, boy! Fuck yeah. 1 save, 0 deaths. Although I could have very easily died with Nemesis, but I fucked up big time there. Oh, yeah. Beat the record. I think the current PC record holder, whatever, always of course on PC, I think it's like 50 minutes or something, but those are like frame perfect people. But yeah, by 1.5 minutes. Again, sorry about the technical issue with the album not streaming on the PS4, instead of streaming through my stereo, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully you could still hear it, and that you enjoyed the album, and again, thank you for all the support. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Napalm Records for hosting this live stream. Really cool of them. My initial plan was just on my own channel. And yeah, it's been really awesome. And really hope that you guys have an awesome evening or day wherever you are. And again, thanks for supporting Sojourner, and really hope you enjoy Premonitions. We're really proud of the album, and we hope that you enjoy it. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks again.